Music of the third and fourth generation of gaming will always have a soft spot in my heart, and of course, I'm gonna favor the Sega Genesis. You know me, of course I'm gonna favor the Genesis. While not all Mega Drive musical efforts are wins, when the YM2612 slaps, it slaps. So why not take a look at 10 more obscure Sega Genesis music tracks that you need to listen to? You all seemed to enjoy the first time I showcased some awesome Genesis tracks, so let's do it again. Same rules as before, one game per franchise, and the songs we're showcasing today are in no particular order, as I don't think it would be fair to rank them. And for funsies, I'm gonna toss a 32X game in here, cause why not, right? And if there are any Sega Genesis songs that you think I should cover in later videos, let me know in the comments. Let's get to it. We're gonna kick things off with Sonic's friendly rival, Knuckles. Everyone's favorite kid, and may be the topic of Sonic fans everywhere, especially with the buzz around his recently released TV miniseries. But what about his solo game, the 32X's Knuckles Chaotix? It always gets overlooked in various conversations. I mean, it's not like Sega is acknowledging its existence in anything with any ports, am I right? Fun fact about me, Knuckles Chaotix is my absolute favorite Sonic soundtrack ever. No kidding, it's amazing. And I knew right from the tutorial level where this beautiful track, Door Into Summer, came from, I instantly fell in love. Licensed games can be a real mixed bag, especially retro ones. But one licensed Genesis game that shocked the heck out of me back then and I still love today is Arena's Predator 2. The movie might have been strange, but this is a rare case of Acclaim / Flying Edge / LJN / whatever really nailing it. I don't want to gush too hard about my love for the game, as that's a subject for another video, but I'll just say 2 words that I'm sure will put a smile on many of your faces. Matt Furness, or who I like to call Matt freaking Furness. A legendary composer who knew how to make the Mega Drive's audio capability shine like a diamond. There were so many games that he had a hand in making amazing soundtracks for. But for this video, I'll hit you up with the jazzy goodness of The Streets of Predator 2. It's so 90s that you gotta love it. you know you're in for a fun time when Treasure Co is involved. Whether you're scraping your knuckles in an action fest like Gunstar Heroes, or figuring your way out of dungeons in Light Crusader. A Japanese isometric action RPG that I feel really needs more love. Light Crusader's unique western vibe and quirky treasure humor gels so well with its challenging rooms and puzzles, but the soundtrack is amazing. Let me ask you all a question. You know when you have a song that you could put on repeat and just vibe and let the time slip away? Perhaps just, with your favorite book or favorite recreation of choice? Well, yeah, the Merchant song is just that for me. Oh heck yeah, Rocket Knight Adventures is one of my favorite Genesis games of all time. We all know that Konami can make some amazing music on any hardware that they get their hands on, but as much as we love the original Rocket Knight, we can't forget about its sequel, Sparkster. It might not have captured quite the same magic as the original, but our jetpack wielding sword swinging hero definitely has our hearts. The music in all three retro Rocket Knight games are outstanding, but Sparkster's Genesis effort really needs all the love that it can get, and the Desert Pyramid theme in Stage 2 is just sublime. Wait, hold on. Who composed this song? Let's see. Michiru Yamane and, wait a minute. Akira Yamaoka? That Akira Yamaoka? A Silent Hill? Oh, now we gotta jam to this. Alright everyone, I got a bit of a confession to make. I've never been the biggest fan of columns. I felt that there was something a bit off on Sega's classic Match 3 puzzle game, and I could never get into it nearly as much as, say, a Puyo Puyo or a Tetris did. Maybe it just needed a mean bean machine to catch my interest. Regardless, I feel one of Sega's strongest versions of columns would be the uniquely odd Columns 3, Revenge of Columns. What a subtitle. The soundtrack of the game is the real star though. There's really no reason why this music hits so hard for a puzzle game, but there's one song that I love from it dearly, and if it gets in your head like it does for me, it will cozy up for a nice stay there. This is Calm Dive. Sports games! No, hold on. Don't click off the video just yet, because some sports games have amazing soundtracks. Jellicoe's Bases Loaded series and pretty much anything by Tecmo immediately comes to mind for having such iconic tunes in their sports titles. Electro Brain's Boxing Legends of the Ring might not be the best boxing game out there, but its menu theme, Undiscovered Champion, hit me like, well, like a punch in the face. Who here are fans of Hydlide? Ah, there we go. I knew there had to be some of you out there. A long-standing roguelike... Roguelite? I always get the two mixed up. That I know has a hardcore fan base. Hydlide is one that I respect the heck out of for its contribution to the world of RPGs, and Super Hydlide on the Genesis carries the legacy well. But it's also one that I could never get into. I mean, any RPG where you could be over-encumbered and overeat always irks at me. Looking at you, Fatal Labyrinth. But the real gem lying within Super Hydlide is in its atmospheric soundtrack, and Out of Freedom is another song that, like the aforementioned Light Crusader's merchant music, you could just get lost in bliss with. Y'all know how much I love and adore Outrun. I've loved Outrun since the first day I ever laid eyes on the arcade cabinet back when I was a young G. And there are several Outrun games, each with their own quirks and gimmicks, but one that I feel hardly gets talked about is OutRunners. Hell, I think I've only seen the arcade cabinet once, maybe? No one talks about it, and it's a dang shame because I loved it when I played it. I wonder if it's underappreciated because the Mega Drive port of OutRunners is kinda lackluster. However, the soundtrack is far from lackluster in the Mega Drive version of OutRunners, like the other games in the franchise, so let's check out one song that really sticks out to me. This is Speed King. We're in the home stretch of yet another look at Sega Genesis songs that I love and hopefully you'll love now too. But before we vibe to today's final song, one quick thing. Be sure to help the channel grow by clicking that like button if you enjoyed it, hit subscribe for more retro goodness from me, and leave a comment here about these or any other Genesis songs that you love or maybe you'd like to see me spotlight in a future video. Thank you so much. Now let's hit that final song. Wolf Team and composer Motoi Sakuraba. Is there any sweeter combination for the Mega Drive? One of my favorite video game composers of all time. There are very few composers for the Mega Drive that have such an iconic sound like theirs. So let's give the final spotlight today to a lesser known Wolf Team epic, Granada. This awesome overhead tank shooter and personal favorite Genesis game of mine has an incredible soundtrack. But it's the track from Stage 2, Windy Avenue, that gets me so pumped up. Oh yeah, you're a tank on top of a giant stealth bomber in midair in this stage, but just so you know. So I'll leave you with this banger of a track, subscribe and stuff, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next level.